Good afternoon, everybody, and I want to thank you for coming to Group Class 2217's graduation. Please take time to recognize them as they move to their seats. I'd like everybody to rise for the posting of the colors by Group Class 2217 honor guard. Please remain standing for the performance of the national anthem.
Detail, present, up! Detail, order, up! Ready, fight! Forward, march! Ready, face! Forward, march!
Thank you. You may be seated. My name is Jim Getz, and I am the commander of the Macon County Law Enforcement Training Center. I would like to welcome all of you to the graduation of Police Recruit Class 2217. Today, we want to congratulate the class on successfully completing the basic law enforcement training, which is 14 weeks long and consists of 560 hours of training. All of you should be very proud of their accomplishments. I'm very happy with this class, that they put the effort in that we asked for. And I think the agencies and the jurisdictions are getting some very good men and women. So thank you very much. Pastor Carlton Beasley, and I'll give the invocation.
Thank you and welcome to Tabernacle Baptist Church. We want you to know that we are so honored and privileged to host this graduation ceremony because we believe that these men and women are worthy to be honored at this time. Let's go to the Lord in word. Father, thank you so much for your graciousness towards us. And I pray, Lord, that as we celebrate and honor the accomplishments of this recruiting class, Father, that you would send them out into the world to help society become what it can be. Lord, to help keep peace, and Lord, to also be a shining light in the midst of darkness. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to recognize a few special guests with us today. Deputy Director Anthony Cobb from the Illinois Law Enforcement Training Center. Pastor Carlton Beasley, who you just heard from. Chief Shane Brendel from the Decatur Police Department. Director of Training, I'm sure all of you have heard about this man, from the recruits, Ed Cole. We got class coordinator, and Chief Colt's right hand is Dennis Arnold. I'd like to introduce and invite up to the podium as Deputy Director from the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, Anthony Cobb.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the graduating class. We finally made this milestone. Now we're on to bigger and better things. To the family, congratulations to your graduates. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. They wouldn't have gotten this far without your support, and they'll continue needing the rest of their career. As I start, I want to start off by bringing congratulations to you from our Executive Director, Keith Calloway, who couldn't be with us today, but him, as well as the board, want to extend their congratulations to you. Job well done. Now, as you all get ready to transition away from the academy and over to your departments, most of you are going to be moving into the field training program. Field training program is where you get to model all the things that you just learned for the last 14 weeks here in the class. As you go through the field training program, you're going to see the challenging times that are happening in law enforcement right now. Departments across the state, across the country, are having a hard time keeping their ranks full, and we welcome each and every one of you into this profession. It's a noble profession, and it's a calling. Everyone can't do it. We understand police reform is upon us. The Safety Act, which was passed here in the state of Illinois in 2021, and remnants of it are still happening and still going into effect, is upon us. And then we look at society as a whole. Respect for authority, respect for law enforcement, respect and civility just for our own man, our own brother. It's almost lacking. But as I look at those challenging times, I also look at the rewarding opportunity. And you, each and every one of you sitting here in uniform, have that rewarding opportunity. You are the present and the future of law enforcement. You are a leader. Think about it. All of you see and heard about 911, learned about when kids dial 911. When do people call 911? When there's a problem in their life. Has anyone ever heard of anyone calling 911 because it's a great time happening in the neighborhood? It doesn't happen. People call because there's an issue and they want someone to come help resolve it. And 9 times out of 10, it's you all right up here. In other words, you are a leader. Whether you're a squad leader or section leader here, you are a leader. Your agency hired you because they saw the potential in you. So remember the things that you learned here at the academy and take it back to your department and then grow from it. But also recognize you are their leader. And your community will look upon you to solve issues. Remember, as a police officer, you are a catalyst. Think back to your basic science classes, chemistry, when they talk about catalysts. Catalysts are change agents. And each and every one of you are a change agent. The question is, will you be a positive change or a negative change? Proof is in the pudding. I challenge you to be a positive change. How do you be a positive change? Always go the extra mile. Take the opportunity to explain. Take the opportunity to treat people with decency. Take the opportunity to treat the public like you would want your family to be treated. Take the opportunity to continue to be a kind, decent serving, public servant that you are. When you do those things, you're going to help to continue to elevate our profession. You're going to continue to elevate your department. And you're going to elevate your community. And then last, but certainly not least, have a sense of humor. Folks, I'm going to tell you today, you're going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. Probably make another one before the day's over. We're human. It's okay. Take the time to laugh. Laugh at yourself. Don't be afraid to get butt of a joke. It's okay. When you mess up, fess up. Own it. Learn from it. But if you do those things, you will be successful. So with that said, congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
Very well said, Deputy Director. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, Chief Shane Brandell of the Decatur Police Department. Chief Shane Brandell began his law enforcement career in 1997 and has been a Decatur police officer for over 25 years. Chief Brandell rose through the ranks of the Decatur Police Department, working in every division of the agency, being named the Chief of Police in July of 2021. Chief Brandell holds a bachelor's degree from Western Illinois University and a master's degree from Indiana State University. He is also a graduate of the Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command. His broad experience, training, and education has provided extensive knowledge of both policing operations and administration. Chief Brandell currently sits on the board of directors for DOVE, a local domestic violence and social service agency, and the Boys and Girls Club of Decatur. It is my honor to introduce to you Chief Shane Brandell.
So I do want to start out with saying, condolences to the master and do our chief call. I get to do that as well on occasion as a city council member here. So luckily we have such a good relationship, and I do appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank Commander Getz and the MCLETC staff for inviting me here today and to be a part of such a big event in your guys' lives. I'd like to start by saluting the families and friends of our graduates. Your support and encouragement have allowed for this day and these dreams to come true. Never doubt that when these graduates look back on this day, they will see and remember you and the strength you gave them to move forward through this challenging process. To all of the graduates, please accept my sincere congratulations on the successful completion of this initial phase of your law enforcement career. Each of you has become one of the few to survive the difficult process, and you should be proud that you now wear the uniform of a law enforcement officer. Wear it with pride in and passion for the profession you are doing. If you notice the word that I use, I said the word or phrase, initial phase of your career. Indeed, you've completed the first step in your career, many more awaiting. As one example, over the next few months, you will participate in a very challenging field training process, during which you will be exposed to a variety of procedural and technological tests. Keep an open mind, absorb like a sponge, and never be afraid to ask questions. And also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're going to make them. Just learn them. I have every confidence that your field training officers will share with you their knowledge and experience to ensure that you are ready to take command of your own patrol car. I hope that your career choice will be as it has for me, a lifelong commitment and a true calling. This morning, while I prepared my uniform, I looked at my badge as I pinned it on my coat. I was proud of the fact that I'd worn one for over 25 years. To many, it's simply a piece of metal. But to me, it means much more than that. It not only represents the hard work that I have put into my career, but also the trust that was placed in me when I took my oath as a police officer. I hope that each of you, when you look at your own badge, remember not only how hard you have worked these last 14 weeks, but also the power, duty, and trust that come with wearing it. In your career, I urge you to balance the power of your badge with humility, patience, empathy, compassion, and respect. Because those qualities will enable you to better serve and protect your communities. In my short time with you today, I'd like to share 3 expectations that our communities have for all of us who wear the uniform of a law enforcement officer. If you understand and adhere to these expectations, your journey through this profession will prove successful. First, have integrity. This is important because it forms the very bedrock for people and their standing in the community in which they live and in the organization in which they serve. Integrity must rise above all else, and you should always do what's right. The interesting thing about integrity, if you have integrity, nothing else matters. And if you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. Next, act with courage. Doing so is critical because this character trait moves us forward in the right direction. In the face of adversity, courage will aid us in making the right decision, even when we stand alone. Never fear adversity. Life experiences teach us that we should embrace adversity because it produces endurance and patience, which in turn create true character that is steadfast and resolute. Courage in the face of adversity is a character trait that will pass the test of time and guide each of us along our journey through life. Last, serve others. I remind you that a career in law enforcement is not about self-enrichment as measured in a paycheck. It is about self-fulfillment as measured in one's soul. This career entails being committed to the community and its citizens. Winston Churchill once stated, "Making a living is what you get. Making a life is what you get." And this is certainly true in our profession. If you've entered this profession for pay and benefits, I promise you this, you'll never be happy. However, if you've entered because of your commitment to making a difference, I guarantee that you will always be challenged. You will always be rewarded for the work that you do in service to your community. And your life will have a special meaning beyond measure. Facing the challenges. That is what law enforcement life is about. The challenges of an officer are much greater than those of other professions. In the life of a law enforcement officer, you constantly swim against the tide. But you will never swim away. In the life of a law enforcement officer, you will constantly be second-guessed. However, you will always have backup. These are some of the challenges you will face going forward, but we face these challenges together. Regardless of the color of the uniform you wear or the shape of the shield you pin to your chest, I urge you to perform with honor. Know that your reward is the joy you receive in making a positive impact on the lives of those you meet along your journey, one that commences today. Always remember that the nobility of our profession can be found not just in what we do, but why we do it, and most important, how we do it with honor. Class, today you will go in service for your agency, and here's my charge to you. I urge you to patrol with passion, proceed with care, but always know that you are now part of a special team with 3 fundamental and common goals. See wrong and try to make it right. See suffering and try to heal. And for all of us, make it home safely at the end of our shift. Congratulations again to all of you. God bless each of you. Welcome. All of you. Thank you.
Class, I know you didn't think you were going to hear Chief Cole today, but be remiss if you guys didn't get to hear his voice one last time for at least 2 or 3 minutes. So Chief Cole, come up and say a few words.
Let's do 30 seconds, okay? No, thank you, family, friends, command staff for joining us today. This is a small group, but a very special group to me. Class 2217, getting together quickly. And as you asked them, they couldn't hide. I found each and every one of you. So, but if you remember back to that class we had earlier in the academy, we talked about police contact. Remember that class? Some of you had negative experiences, some of you had positive. As we are all sitting here today, brass shined, wood shined. Let's think about those contacts. Those were your very rare contacts you had with police before you're here now. Think about your numerous contacts you're going to have daily sometimes. And at the end of the shift, think about those contacts. Could I have done better? How did they feel about me when I walked away? Because they're not going to remember you, they're remembering that patch, that badge, and the community you represent. So I'm going to challenge you one more time. Last challenge. No push-ups involved. Make each contact positive. Leave each scene better than the way you found it. Okay? Private yes, thanks.
I'd like to introduce the class president, Savannah Long. I thought she was coming up there empty-handed for a minute. I thought she was going to wing the speech for us.
Good afternoon, friends and families. My name is Savannah Long, and it is a privilege to have you here with us today to recognize our newest officers and sheriff's deputy. Throughout these past 14 weeks, 32 individuals from diverse perspectives have come together to honor one purpose. That purpose is public service and adhering to the evolutionary needs of law enforcement today. 32 individuals have chosen to forever commit themselves to millions of people they still have yet to meet. This reflects not just a job, but a calling. It is truly a pleasure to stand here and represent this amazing group of people. Among us are dual language speakers, including American Sign Language and Spanish, a mail carrier, an auto mechanic, retired athletes, honorable veterans, a teacher, and so much more. These backgrounds identify us as people and exemplify our strengths when building connections with the communities we serve. It is vital to carry the passion, grit, and integrity we have demonstrated throughout the academy to future training to ensure that the saying "we all go home after our shift" is not just a statement of hope, but a reality. We would like to thank Commander Getz, Deputy Commander Schneider, Chief Cole, and Deputy Chief Arnold for teaching us the value of law enforcement and the skills necessary to be effective. We must also acknowledge the numerous instructors, advisors, housekeeping staff, cafeteria personnel, and all others that have helped us prepare for the beginning of our careers. Although these 14 weeks were not easy, they were memorable. None of us will forget scarfing down our meals for 20 minutes, PT at 5 a.m., getting tased, the voice of Chief Pope during a smoke session, or the feeling, smell, and taste of fresh OC spray throughout the barrack always. The world for the weekends is etched in our memories, but now there are celebrations to be had because we did it. You did it. Recruit Class 2217 is a proud number and will forever hold a place in our hearts. Thank you.
Deputy Chief Arnold will now come up and announce the graduates. That's what we're waiting for.
Good afternoon. This is the moment you all have been waiting for the past 14 weeks. Officer Anthony Antrobus, DeKalb Police Department. Officer Roberto Ayala, Elgin Police Department. Investigator Dalton Beto, Vermilion County Metropolitan Enforcement Group. Officer Jared Bungie, Cherry Valley Police Department. Officer Anthony Caliendo, Elgin Police Department. Officer Macy Carmine, Quincy Police Department. Officer Reina Cortez, Elgin Police Department. Officer Catherine Deluzak, Aurora Police Department. Officer David Dortman, Jr., Sycamore Police Department. Officer Gage Floyd, Mount Zion Police Department. Deputy Alexander Hamilton, McLean County Sheriff's Office. His certificate will be presented to him by his father, Sheriff Jeffrey Hamilton, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Officer Corbin Hyken, Normal Police Department. Officer Todd Kelly, Quincy Police Department. Officer Jace Kennedy, DeWitt Police Police Department. Officer Hunter Kinney, DeWitt Police Department. Officer Hunter Lawhon, Mattoon Police Department. Officer Savannah Long, DeKalb Police Department. Officer Jose Meza, Metro Police Department. Officer Maria Nunez, Elgin Police Department. Officer Ildefonso Padilla, Metro Police Department. Officer Matthew Phillips, Metro Police Department. Officer Alberto Reyes, Metro Police Department. Officer Alondra Ruiz, Elgin Police Department. Officer Andrew Salas, Metro Police Department. Officer Leandro Salgado, Elgin Police Department. Officer Jacob Sarmiento, Loves Park Police Department. Officer Matthew Schmutz, Decatur Police Department. Officer Parker Shelton, Quincy Police Department. Officer Kevin Steck, Bloomington Police Department. Officer Colton Stockdale, Coal City Police Department. Officer Levi Vervink, Aurora Police Department. Officer Cassie Workman, Elgin Police Department. We get one more round of applause for the graduating class. 2217.
One more time, right? All right, we have a few special awards we'd like to present. The first award I present is a firearms award, class's top shooter. This student tied with Officer Anthony Antrobus of the DeKalb Police Department for the highest ranking fire score of 50 out of 50. A shootout competition to break the tie was won by Levi Bergman of Aurora Police Department. All right, the next award I present is the Physical Fitness Award. This award goes to the recruit with the highest overall fitness score based on the cumulative score of 3 power tests, which consists of bench press, sit and reach, sit-ups, and mile-and-a-half run. The recipient of the Physical Fitness Award for the class of 2217 was a very impressive 97%, Savannah Long, DeKalb Police Department. That should be here for our rated physical fitness winner. All right, the next award is the Academic Award, which is awarded to the recruit has the highest overall percentage based on 7 quizzes and 2 exams that were taken throughout the academy. The recipient of this award with an overall academic score of 96% was the Corbin Hyken Normal Police Department. The next award is the Commander's Choice Award. We, up to the last minute, trying to identify just because there's such a close race there. This award goes to the recruit who showed overall outstanding achievements in academics, firearms, physical fitness, and most importantly, leadership. The recipient of the Commander's Choice Award, Kevin Stack, Bloomington Police Department. Three more awards we're going to give out and recognize, and these officers had a little more extra work to do throughout the academy in the evenings and on the time off, I'm sure. Class President, Officer Savannah Long, DeKalb Police Department. Tiger Jet. Class Treasurer, Officer Alexander Hamilton, McLean County Sheriff's Department. You guys are about the same height. All right, I want to recognize a couple people to my right, and that's Officer Eric Gonzalez and Officer Chad Block. Both of those experienced officers from their agencies. Their agencies are nice enough and fortunate enough to loan them to us for 14 weeks, and they go through the whole class with our class. I spent a lot of evening hours with them, a lot of phone calls and texts, and I'm telling you, and I'm sure I'm speaking for you as a class, that having those advisors makes a big, big deal. So I want to thank the agencies for allowing them to participate with us, but I want to thank you too, Eric and Chad, for helping us out. Thank you.
Again, thank you for allowing us the privilege to host. If you'll indulge me, give me 60 seconds here. As I was sitting there watching all the recruits, I'm just so thankful for you. And I want you to know that no matter where you go, and when you're going across the state, that you have a home right here at Tabernacle Baptist Church. I want to tell just a short story that may or may not resonate with you, but at one time we were without a pastor. I was looking for what God's will was in my life. And we would go to different search committees, and they would ask my wife every time if she played the piano or sang. My wife does neither one of those things. But they just assumed that because she was a pastor's wife that she did. And finally one day she got tired of them asking that question, and they said, well, if you don't play the piano or sing, what do you do? And she said, well, I write Pastor Carlton's sermons for him. And when the guy picked his chin up off of the floor, she looked at him, and then here's what she said. She said, the most important ministry that I have in this entire church is to take care of Pastor Carlton, because he gives everything he has to take care of you. And I want you to know that you have a church home here. No matter what happens, you can always call, always get a hold of us. You are out on the streets taking care of everybody else. And I ask the question, who's going to take care of you? We would be glad and honored to be able to do that in any way we can. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, you call. We want to be that. Father, thank you so much for your message, or for your people here that you have let graduate. And God, I pray that as you send them out all over the state of Illinois, God, that you would send them out as light in the darkness toward all the things that we are facing in our countries and in our communities, Lord, that are negative. God, I pray that when people see these men and women wearing this badge and this uniform, that they will see something positive, not negative. Lord, help them do that in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. All right. I want to thank the families for your commitment and some of the things you've had to do while we've had you recruit for 14 weeks. We know that things at home don't stop, they continue. Grass still needs cut, dishes still need done, kids need to be taken care of, and the house needs to be taken care of. So we understand that commitment from you, and without you, your recruits could not have went through the 14 weeks. So thank you very much. And thank the agencies for trusting MCLETC with your recruits. It's a big deal to us that we have the opportunity to train, the present and future law enforcement in the state. And so, as you know, and everybody watches the news or hears the news, law enforcement's changed and it'll continue to change. I'm glad that we have the ability at that initial stage of their careers to set that culture and teach our officers that their job is to serve the public and they work for the public. And we're just happy to have them. And so thank you to agencies for allowing us to be part of that. All right, All right, I want to congratulate all the new officers and deputies and one investigator. Didn't forget about you. For the effort, day one, day two, we ask you, give 110%. You're honest with us and you put the work in. you would graduate the academy. And we started out with 34, we've got 32. You 32 did what was asked of you. What I'll ask of you now is the same effort, the same commitment, and heart and soul and passion that you put into the 14 weeks. You give back that to your agencies, you give that back to the communities you serve. Never forget, you work for those communities. You work for those people that you see every day out in public. And so I know we earn a paycheck and we earn benefits, but our number one goal, the reason we signed up for this job, is to serve the public. So on those long days when you've taken the 5th or 6th report for the day and you just wore out, and you get that last call, don't treat that 7th person any less better than you did those previous 6 reports. Because that person may not have never had contact with police, and if they have a negative contact with you because you've had a long day, that's what they're going to remember. So just always remember, you signed up to serve the public, no matter whether it's the first call of the day, the last call of the day before your shift is over, or on overtime. And so that's what you signed up for. Always remember that. You guys will have great careers. Thank you very much for letting me be your commander. I'm very proud of each one of you. You're like my kids, and as I told you in the back before we came out, if you ever need anything, I'm always here for you, and my staff is always here for you. Congratulations, Chief Cole. One more time.